Hello, this is Michael here at CoveNat. Yes, there is someone else who has the same first and last name as me, and the book I wrote is called The Narrow Path. It is an anthology of Yiddish short stories that I translated into English. The project started after I had a casual conversation with a guy who owns a small consulting and publishing company, and he seemed interested in my Yiddish translations and said he would be interested in a gift that would be for his parents that would have a strong moral or a profound moral or uh, something that would be reflective and would be a novel translated from Yiddish that had never been translated before. And I searched through a lot of books at the Ohio State University Library and found some short stories that had similar themes, and I gave my gift to this guy in May 2008 of 9 earlier this year, and I revised it in September. And the title of the story comes from one of the stories, which is called My Son. In the story, the son convinces the father to go deer hunting with him, but the hunting reminds the father of anti-Semites hunting for Jews, and the son asks for directions to a place where they can get horses to ride, and as part of the directions, they're supposed to be on the main road, and at a certain point, they're supposed to turn onto a narrow path. So, narrow, and when they're on the narrow road, the son sees the narrow path and says, "There it is, the narrow path." The son is over eager to get to the place where they can ride horses, and so narrow paths sounds like it could be a method or a way of living, but it could also actually be a dirt path that looks like you should be walking on it, but in this story the characters were told to drive on the path. And these stories may not have a happy ending, but they're very realistic and they reflect situations or themes that Yiddish speakers might have actually experienced. And there's two words for story. One is Maisa. That sounds like the most common word for story, but it seems to really refer to a parable or a folk tale or something that's meant especially for children. And these stories are all described as Der Zählungen in the table of contents of the books I found. And Der Zählungen usually have usually narrated by the main character or the author, and they're more similar to an English short story you might read. And so these stories could really be described as narrations, and I'm available to write any other translations of stories for your library or as a gift for you or your family.